Hi, friend. We going to Sprouts. That is not the way I saw God blessing us, but hey, it is still a blessing. There's moments like that where I really am getting to see God's blessings and his miracles. God is really showing my husband and I what it's like to fully surrender to God's plan for us and really just live in his miracle. But it's not us that is providing right now. God is making it so evidently clear that what is happening for us right now and how we're surviving right now has nothing to do with how much work we're putting in, and has everything to do with us being focused in on the kingdom and our faith. It truly is not how I would expect it to be at all.
This Feels Holy is a sacred space for raw, honest conversations about faith, growth, and becoming who God called you to be. When life doesn't look or feel put together, we explore what it means to walk with God through the mess, the miracles, the waiting, and the whispers. Let's share our truth unfiltered. Slow down with me. I invite you to experience his joy. And here's your daily reminder that even in the ordinary moments, this feels holy.
Hi, friend. We're going to Sprouts. We going to Sprouts. We going to get some groceries, because this is the only time I leave my house. No, for reals though, this is the only time I leave my house is to go get groceries. Honestly, I've ordered a couple of Instacarts at the house, but like, I don't leave a lot. So your girl needs to get out of the house. I'm kind of happy because Dylan has, for the most part, joined me in every single grocery trip, because he has this thing. He's just very protective of me, which I love. Thank you, man. Thank you, husband. Thank you, hubby. But like, a girl needs some quiet time. So today we're going to Sprouts. This is the first time Dylan has allowed me to go to Sprouts by myself. And he made me pack my pew-pew. And we're just going to go to the grocery store. We're going to enjoy. We're going to go grocery shopping. I don't know what we're going to get, because we are a little bit limited in what I can purchase. My spending budget for this week's grocery trip is $125. So that's pretty good. That's like a normal spending week, I would say. Yeah, it's like usually around 200, but we're going to make it work. We have been learning very much these past couple of weeks about stewardship. And stewardship is not just something you do in your finances, but it is also a part of how you manage your relationships, your household, your just everything that you have been given from God, which is everything. There is a lesson in stewardship that you can withhold. So Dylan and I have been working on that process of stewardship. And I gotta say, Dylan's kind of kicking my butt when it comes to stewarding his wife. Like, the man is being in such a servant mindset and a servant heart. He's given me countless massages. He has just been offering to help cook at the end of a long day, even though he's working long hours too. Like, it's just been really sweet to see him in this. And it inspires me to want to do the same. Like, I feel like I need to step up my game a little bit when it comes to stewardship. So yeah, that's, did I bring my wallet? I don't think so. You know what? We have Apple Pay. We're going to do Apple Pay because we're not driving back to the house. We're already only 18 minutes away. So yeah, he's been doing such an amazing job at making sure he shows up for our relationship. Because finances have been a little bit tight, we haven't been able to go and have date night and do all the things that we really want to do since we've moved here. We've kind of been in this crazy work, like head down workspace where we aren't really leaving the house. We're not doing date nights. We're not doing a lot of things. But there is, even though it is a very stressful time in our lives, we're also realizing that there is just a lot of refinement that God has been doing in our lives. He has been working a lot on our hearts, how we see money, how we steward, and he's exposing to us a lot of the things that we still need to learn before he gives us true wealth. And Dylan and I joke a lot about this, but we say, like, we're very grateful to have money kind of be the last thing that we need to truly work on, and that we're grateful that we weren't given a tremendous amount of wealth, because, at least not yet, because when you have an extreme amount of wealth but none of the personal development, it is so much more difficult for you to learn the lessons, because there's a huge ego that gets attached to it, right? I'm not saying that all wealthy people struggle with personal development. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, if you do gain your wealth before you mature, it is very difficult to work through some personal development, because your ego is truly a huge hindrance. And it's all up in the Bible, so quote me, clock it. So yeah, anyways, we're managing. I feel like God has been very quiet with me lately, and not in a way I don't feel abandoned by him, but I have been very much asking him, what other lessons are there? And I feel like I'm very much in this waiting period, and I do feel that the wilderness, where my husband and I are overcoming the wilderness, but there's still a waiting period where God is truly testing our faith. And it's been beautiful, but stressful. And that's kind of the duality of life. I don't think I've ever experienced such a roller coaster of emotions. So when we had a huge financial problem back in 2023, Dylan and I, when we first started dating, that whole story of when I had to sell my house to keep us afloat, we experienced that tough experience not having God. And the way that we worked through it was by listening to Kevin Trudeau, and he taught a lot about, mindset things, and that's kind of what we learned. And it helped to some degree. It gave our minds something to be busy about, but we never experienced the true peace of God. And so when we were experiencing those moments, most of it was very just dark. And now that we're kind of experiencing the same experience again, it's like the same story, but different font. I feel like we're using a happier font. And I just feel like overall, our peace is still very sustained, even though there is chaos all around us. Like, we still don't know what we're doing out here. Our house is very empty. There's a lot of bills that are, we're really pushing it as far as it getting paid. Legit, for our rent, one way God blessed us, and it was truly, truly a miracle, is we couldn't pay the full amount, but we couldn't pay the full amount, but God blessed us in a sense that he had our landlord forget to ask for a portion of the rent. So we paid most of our rent up front, like earlier than the day it was due. And then she didn't ask for it for like until half of the month, the other portion of it. I'm like, that is not the way I saw God blessing us, but hey, it is still a blessing. And so there's moments like that where I really am getting to see God's blessings and his miracles. Now, the beauty of this is that it truly is not how I would expect it to be at all. God is really, really showing my husband and I what it's like to fully surrender to God's plan for us and really just live in his miracle, to really showcase that it's not us who is, this guy's just like in the street. Okay. That it's not us that is providing right now. And it's not through our works that things are happening for us, it truly is like God is making it so evidently clear that what is happening for us right now and how we're surviving right now has nothing to do with how much work we're putting in, and has everything to do with us being focused in on the kingdom and our faith. We made it to Sprouts. Let me drink some agua. Let's go. Sprouts. We do our best to get everything organic, but lately, since things have been a little tight, we've been choosing to not go organic. So we're gonna grab some hummus. One of my favorite things, frozen grapes, and now they got organic cotton candy. Definitely been loving bananas lately. We got some meat, because that's important. Dang, there's like nothing here actually. Oh, morning, sorry. No, it's just me. I was trying to see if you guys had organic ground chicken. Okay.
We haven't got our truck yet.
Oh, I know. I was like, it's looking so bare. All right, thank you. I might have to call an audible. Hi. There's actually no meat here. We're just gonna have to get it from Publix. Are you cool if I get a little bit of those chocolate almond things and mix it? Potatoes. It's like one of my favorite cookie dough things. These. I'm gonna get this instead of chocolate. I think that's it. Oh, it's bright. All right. Because I'm a good Samaritan, let's get home. Oh, ow. Sometimes my objects be trying to fight me. I spent $60. He's really deepening our faith right now. These moments are just so precious because even though things are stressful, I do feel like these are the moments that I want to cherish because they're simple, right? They're simple. I think a lot more complexities come with more wealth and more financial abundance because God doesn't want to just trust you with extreme wealth if you're not going to be a blessing to others, right? He does for some other people, but most of the time it's I don't even want to go into that because I don't fully know why some people get blessed with wealth but then they have to struggle with other things. So we all have our own problems and things, right? But I do feel like what God has been doing in my life in particular is that he's waiting to give me the wealth until after I let go and surrender to him being the provider. And so he's just teaching me all these beautiful lessons. And I do believe that it's just a sweet area, a sweet moment in our lives of surrender and simplicity because we're not overloaded with a crazy amount of responsibility. We don't have kids that we have to worry about right now as we're both pursuing our dreams. And the refinement process, when God starts to bring you through sanctification and you love him so much that you're pursuing holiness, it is not easy. It is challenging, but we do it because we love God and we do it because we love our brothers and sisters and we want to be close to him. And because when you love somebody, you sacrifice. When you love somebody, you sacrifice. And that means taking a look at ourselves and sticking to boundaries that God has asked us to stay within. I always refer to the relationships and stuff that we hold in our physical world, like our husbands, our wives. I think about our friendships. And the thing that gets me so baffled by is the fact that people think that they can treat God like he doesn't actually exist, but then they say that they love him. But if you were to show up the way you did for God in your normal relationships, like you probably wouldn't have a lasting relationship because you would be only seeing him once a week. You would be a closet Christian, you would only share your faith to a certain amount of people. You are not sticking within your boundaries. You're not dressing respectively. You're not honoring God with your body, your mind, what you eat. And if you did that in a relationship and you constantly cross those boundaries, there wouldn't be a relationship. Like, that person would dump you. But luckily, we have the grace of God. I tell you what, when you're going through financial struggles, a little bit of strain, you really appreciate when God gives you a little bit of a treat. Yeah, those little treats, man, you just learn to really appreciate the small things in life. I think we forget how awesome life is, even though we don't have a lot. And I think that's what God is reminding me of. I don't gotta have all of that to be happy. And I'm happy today because I'm focusing in on the blessings and not the things that I don't have. Okay, let me focus on the road, because Miami drivers, insane. They are insane. Like, literally no one pays attention.